Robert W. Kirk and Kimberly Ann Kirk. Charlie Kirk's parents never believed that their son has just gone like that. All they said in their hearts, God know why. Why too soon? Robert W. Kirk, 64, and Kimberly Ann Kirk, 62, built lives of professional dedication and family commitment long before their son, Charlie Kirk, rose to national attention as a conservative activist. Their story, while less public than their son's, provides essential context to the environment in which he was raised and the values that shaped him. Each parent pursued careers that reflected different strengths. Robert in the world of architecture and design, and Kimberly in both finance and counseling. Together, they established a stable home in suburban Illinois, instilling discipline, resilience, and self-reliance in their children. Robert Kirk trained as an architect, earning his Bachelor of Architecture from the University of Houston. His professional path reflected both creativity and precision, two qualities essential to his trade. Over the years, he became associated with professional organizations such as the American Institute of Architects, AIA, and the National Council of Architectural Registration Boards, NCARB, credentials that testified to his seriousness and standing in the field. He eventually founded his own design firm, one that catered to residential and commercial clients in the middle to upper middle class segments of society. Through this practice, he took on a wide variety of projects, ranging from private housing to multifamily developments and even ventures in hospitality and healthcare design. Some reports link Robert Kirk to high-profile projects, including work connected to Trump Tower in New York. While the exact extent of his role in that particular development is debated and not documented in full detail, the association speaks to the level of ambition and caliber of projects with which his name has been connected. His resume lists involvement not only in domestic projects, but also in select international efforts, such as luxury condominiums and resort developments. For those who worked with him or studied his portfolio, his work embodied a blend of functionality, modernity, and attention to detail. Beyond his resume, Robert is remembered in public accounts as a man who valued discipline and structure. Running his own firm required both entrepreneurial drive and adaptability, qualities his son would later echo in the political arena, though in a very different field. He balanced the creative elements of design with the practical challenges of operating a business, navigating the demands of clients and industry standards. These professional lessons, paired with his personal values of self-reliance and hard work, became part of the environment in which Charlie Kirk grew up. By contrast, Kimberly Ann Kirk charted a different professional journey. Early in her career, she worked at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, one of the largest and most dynamic financial markets in the United States. That role placed her in a fast-paced, numbers-driven environment where precision and focus were essential. Later, she transitioned into a new field, becoming a mental health counselor. This career shift reflected a different set of talents and interests: listening, empathy, and the ability to help others navigate personal challenges. It was a path that demonstrated versatility and a commitment to service, qualities that stand out in her more private biography. Kimberly has maintained a much lower public profile than either her husband or her son. Unlike Robert, whose professional credentials can be found in architectural directories and project histories, Kimberly's life has been less documented, largely shielded from public attention. Still, what is known about her work as a counselor indicates a deep engagement with the human side of professional life. She devoted her skills to supporting others through difficulties, offering perspective and stability. That orientation toward care and mental well-being complemented Robert's more structural, design-focused profession, making for a balance of practicality and compassion in the household. Together, Robert and Kimberly raised their family in Prospect Heights, Illinois, after Charlie's birth in nearby Arlington Heights on October 14, 1993. Their home environment was not overtly political, with most reports describing the family as moderately inclined rather than deeply partisan. What marked the household most strongly was its emphasis on responsibility, discipline, and self-sufficiency. These qualities, though nurtured in the everyday rhythms of suburban life, became critical to Charlie's later path. He would often note in interviews that while he pursued politics and activism on his own initiative, the work ethic he carried into those spaces had been modeled by his parents. Robert's architectural career no doubt shaped Charlie's appreciation for vision, structure, and initiative. An architect has to imagine a design and then shepherd it into reality, working across practical and creative domains. For Charlie, who would later imagine a national youth movement and build it from scratch. The echoes of that model were clear. Kimberly's career shift, from finance to counseling, offered another lesson: adaptability. She showed that one could change course in pursuit of meaningful work, an example of resilience that may have influenced Charlie's ability to pivot and grow as circumstances shifted. Although neither Robert nor Kimberly became public figures in their own right, their lives intersected with broader currents of American society. Robert's professional proximity to high-profile real estate developments placed him, however indirectly, in the orbit of institutions and figures later central to national politics. Kimberly's counseling role connected her to the quieter but essential work of mental health, an area increasingly recognized as vital to communities. Their careers, while different, both underscored service. Robert through creating spaces for living and working, Kimberly through guiding individuals toward stability and wellness. Their story also highlights the contrast between public and private life. While their son became one of the most recognizable conservative commentators of his generation, Robert and Kimberly remained largely outside the media spotlight. Even when attention turned to Charlie's background, they were typically referenced only in passing, identified by profession rather than by personal statements or appearances. This contrast underscored their preference for privacy, a decision that allowed them to maintain lives grounded in their own careers and values rather than in politics or publicity. The Kirks represent a kind of American middle-class aspiration, with both parents pursuing professional careers that reflected their strengths, providing a stable home for their children, and avoiding undue attention despite their son's later prominence. Robert's architecture firm was a small business endeavor, one that demanded entrepreneurial risk. Kimberly's transition into counseling showed a commitment to helping others. Their contributions were not marked by fame, but by steady work, family life, and community presence. Though less is known about the details of their day-to-day lives, the outlines are clear enough. A household that valued hard work, self-reliance, and compassion. A father whose career was marked by design and business discipline. A mother whose career was defined by service and adaptability. And together, a family environment that gave their son both stability and freedom to pursue his own ambitions. In that balance between structure and support, Robert and Kimberly Kirk shaped the formative years of one of America's most visible political activists, leaving their imprint not through public statements or campaigns, but through the quieter, enduring influence of parenthood. And with that, thanks for watching. Give us a like, share with friends, and please subscribe.